Another perspective. We're joined by Mike Almy. He was in the Air Force for 13 years, but after his personal emails were examined, he was discharged. He joins us now live. On that constitutional argument, it would appear that the Obama administration is in agreement with Mr. Sears.
It certainly looks like that they are. All indications are that they are going to appeal this. So we're still waiting on a ruling or a statement from the Justice Department. But it appears that that's what they're inclined to do.
And as a result, though, with perhaps congressional deadlock continuing into the next few years, it looks difficult then for the judiciary to overturn Don't Ask, Don't Tell, or go even further.
Certainly so. And there's absolutely no reason that the two processes can't go along in parallel. The judiciary process that we saw yesterday, as well as the legislative process. The onus is on Congress to repeal this, since they are the ones who passed the law in 1993. But that's certainly not to say that a federal judge cannot rule this unconstitutional and order the military to stop, which is exactly what we've seen.
So on the one hand, though, you have the Obama administration upholding the right of Congress alone to legislate on what the military can and can't do. Right. On the other hand, you have the Defense Secretary of the Obama administration now saying to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell would be disastrous. What were his exact words? It would have enormous consequences for our troops. So what do you make of that?
At this time, yeah. He certainly supports repeal, and he supports the study that the Pentagon is currently underway now. That study is due to Congress on 1 December. So he doesn't support the repeal at this moment, but certainly long term, he, as well as Admiral Mullen and certainly the President, support repeal.
A convenient position, though.
A convenient position. And it's coincidental, perhaps, or maybe political, that the Pentagon study is due in December after the midterm elections.
What about those arguments, though, just even on repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell now, or at least not enforcing it now, that it would have dramatic policy changes on everything from housing and insurance to protocol and all these. These are the arguments we're hearing.
Sure. I don't think it's going to have a significant effect from where we are right now. Gays and lesbians are already serving in the military. They have for decades, as long as we've had a military. And in some cases today, they're serving openly with absolutely no effect whatsoever. We can draw similar conclusions or parallels from our allied nations, over 25 now, that have repealed their ban on gays and lesbians serving openly. And they've had absolutely no effect, very little effect to their mission and their unit cohesion.
I'm not sure if you can summarize, maybe it's such a simple argument you can, if you can summarize the argument there about this issue of cohesion, that when you hear people like Mr. Sears argue that, what is your response, other than the international precedent?
My response is I look at my case personally. Since I've been out publicly, since my story has been out in the media and I've spoken, since I testified before the Senate, participated in this trial, I've heard from numerous service members that I served with who knew me and all want me back in the military, all want me back as an officer.
Mike Almy, thank you very much.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.